This is a 1972 and a half Corvette Stingray, and it's an LT1 solid lifter motor, which is a high revving. This is actually the last of the solid lifter motors that GM was putting out in the Corvette. And what makes this car special is that there was about 35 of these known that had air conditioning and all the options to them. So this is really one of 35 cars, and it actually the only car that had air conditioning with a solid lifter motor. So they just decided to do that in 72 and a half. So the first part of the production line didn't even have air conditioning available. And especially when you look at it being a convertible, I mean, it doesn't really make much sense, but they put it together. It's a special car, so I went after that. It's 4-speed. It's got all the track pack pieces to it. It's got a hard top, a soft top, every option known in this car. And when I bought this car, before I even got back to Lakeland, I called a super nice guy, Jeff Brecky, who is probably the best restorer I've ever dealt with, and he's done several vehicles for me. And I told him about the car and said, please find me some time to get in your shop. And we waited a little bit of time, probably 6 or 8 months, but I got it into him. We put it back to the original specs, and the motor is immaculate. There's nothing outside of GM on here, right down to the hose clamps. In general, if you want a good driving, older, collectible Corvette, the C3 is really the place to go, but not the later ones because they had no horsepower and GM was going through whatever the heck they went through in that era with quality control and stuff. But the earlier C3s actually steer a little bit like a 79 Z28 or Trans Am. They've got disc brakes and enough conveniences and air conditioning that actually works if that's important to you. And it's just a fun all-around car to drive. The paint work that Jeff put on this car, I get all kind of people just saying what great paint work this is, who did this? And so, I don't know if I should use his name or not. He's busy enough as he is, but anyway. But this is one of my older vintage cars along with the Cobra, and it really is just one of my favorites because it does everything. By far, this is my favorite vintage Corvette.